What is up, guys? NYKia 31 here. Busy weekend, busy sports weekend, opening week of the NFL. College football's in full swing. Playing some Madden 15. I'll be talking about my overall impressions of the game as you see me here playing with my Jets online against the Baltimore Ravens, running out of the Bill Walsh playbook, getting a little bit of old school West Coast going. Now, as you guys know, I like to take my time about these things. I like to go at least a week, in this case, close to 2 weeks, week and a half, really. Been playing it a lot until, online franchise kicks in, where I'll be going more into that and less into the online ranked world. Let me start out with the things that I dislike about the game. First and foremost, I want to find the person who's responsible for the play calling menu layout, take them into a dark alley with a crowbar and a set of pliers and beat them to within an inch of their life. This thing is a bug-riddled mess. You'll get a blank screen. You'll have to back out and go back in before you can pick anything. You'll come out, you'll think you have picked something and come out something entirely different. You'll have situations where in a no-huddle situation, you don't see what formation you're audibling to. The whole thing is just a complete nightmare. I hate it. I want to have the option to have the traditional menu layout back, please. And on top of that, you'll sometimes start a game and your depth charts will reset, your playbooks will reset. And for someone like me who's super anal about those kind of things, those things drive me up the wall. I would say close to half of my online losses is a result of getting into the game and finding that my roster and playbook has been set back to default. And then, of course, I back out of the game. Extremely irritating. Secondly, I thought that we would be farther along with the Infinity Engine by now. It's much better than the contortion fest that was Madden 13, much better than that. It's better than Madden 25, but there's still too much unnecessary sloppiness. I don't care what goes on after the play with players' bodies and whatnot, but where it really manifests itself is in those situations where a gang tackle needs to occur, but there's no animation set with the Infinity Engine to make it happen, so you get the backbreaker splash of bodies, like right here. I also want to see the ball more tangible. With the Infinity Engine, you'll see, players get in a position where their ball is just kind of dangling out there, which is a good thing, but the ball isn't in play in those situations either. How great would it be to be able to have a fumble occur in those types of situations where a running back has the ball, knocked loose because it made contact with his own lineman's body, for example. Also, way too many quarterback breaking out of sack animations. Way too many. You'll have games where you don't see any. You'll have games where you'll have one or two, which is fine. But there's a bit too many games where you'll see 3 or 4 of them. That has to go. The frequency of dropped interceptions. Now, this is something that we need to be very careful about. We get it. Defensive backs and linebackers, they don't have great hands. You know the old cliche that they'd be wide receivers, and you want their catch ratings to matter as well. But the frequency of INT drops is very APF 2K8-ish. It's not as bad as in that game where it wasn't uncommon for the ball to bounce off of 2 or 3 different sets of hands and fall to the ground, but it's a bit too high as well. The no-huddle tempo is entirely too fast. NCAA 14 had that right. The quarterback had to go into his animation where he's pointing out signals and giving commands to his team before the play began, instead of this rocket speed no-huddle tempo that the Madden game has. If you're going to steal things from NCAA, you might as well steal that as well, because it makes sense. It makes the no-huddle feel less like a circus. There are, still some exploits that the online nerd is trying to take advantage of. Like here, this guy's going to, like he tried it right there, he's going to try to do the old face catch or rocket catch streak Of course, the online gamer with a mobile QB will try to rocket out of the pocket as soon as he can at any opportunity to try to suck down your zone coverage. That's better. Still need some work to do in that regard, as defenders will prematurely come out of their zones to try to attack the quarterback. Again, NCAA 14 had a game plan setting where you can control or assign how you want your defenders to attack those situations. There you actually hit the user catch streak. But as far as likes, darn near everything else. The game largely is what was advertised, I feel, in the live stream that they did. Nice user pick by him. Way to stay at home on that. You can't just go out there and act a fool and just wing it without any type of plan. You'll get shut out or very close to it. We do have a lot more tools to work with on the defensive side of the ball, and they all pretty much work as I expected them to work. The protect the sticks works very well. You saw me get a pick six, combining protect the sticks with the underneath coverage audible in that 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 type of area where guys like to go to the slant or shallow cross. I'm able to coverage shade pretty much every route. The only route that gives a problem is the drag out of compressed sets. There's some problems there as being able to leverage that route. Of course, in the real world, that's a real-life man-beating concept, but it's not automatic either. And in the game, it's very close to that. The inaccuracies are very nice as far as the quarterbacks are concerned. They don't just result in just UFO incompletions. They'll result in harder attempts to catch the ball by a receiver. Instead of leading him into space or him being able to catch it on the run, he may have to reach back, which may cause him to drop the ball. He may have to extend himself, which may cause him to get hit by a defender and the ball gets jarred loose. There's a lot of different types of instances where the inaccuracies come into play as opposed to just balls that are 20 yards off target. I'd like to see it happen a little bit more than on default in your online leagues and offline franchises. You'll have to tune that a little bit, but it is there on default as well, as you saw Gino uncork some UFOs in this game. The D-line controls are excellent. In my opinion, they're the best D-line controls that we've ever had in a football game in terms of responsiveness and control over directing your player. I'm not being sucked into blocks. I'm not being psychically picked up. I'm able to wreak some havoc there on the defensive line if I have a good matchup. And also if I'm calling a smart game as well. I feel completely comfortable playing on a user defensive lineman. I was skeptical of them at first, but after trying them, I really am a fan of them. They really work really well. They don't feel overpowered. They don't disrespect matchups. You have complete control of directing your player. You can shed blocks very well, and you can be a factor in the pass rush. QB Contain works very well. Two things that I really love are the disguised coverages. I've made a living off of those things as far as springing traps and forcing game-changing picks for either pick sixes or just the ice games. And also I love the way the defenders attack the football. Again, they don't always come down with the pick, but they're really breaking on the ball. If you think you're just going to fire the ball in there blindly, you may have some fun for 1 or 2 completions, but in the long run over the course of the game, you're going to pay. So overall, I'm someone, as you guys know, who views things from a football X's and O's perspective. I don't freak out over something not happening 100% the way someone moves on TV. By and large, what's supposed to be happening is happening. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to win games. I wouldn't be able to hold people to 7, 6, 10, 0 points, which I've done pretty frequently already. The feature sets work pretty much as they were explained. And yes, the game does need a patch to clean up a lot of the sloppiness and rough edges that I explained earlier on. And other than that, I'm just waiting for the online franchise season to start so I can get away from playing these lobby and ranked turds. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Love to hear your thoughts. Talk to you all later. Peace.